All right, let's go now to Onur Oymen in Istanbul. He is the former undersecretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You were a diplomat during a period when the Asala was murdering Turkish diplomats, and I know friends of yours were killed during that period. What's your reaction to this statement from President Biden?
Well, first of all, I should say that we should question whether an American president or a president of any country, a parliament of any country, is entitled to qualify the events of 1915 as genocide. Who is entitled to do so? According to UN Convention on Combating Genocide, it is only the courts of the country where such events happened or an authorized international court. Only these organizations, these organs, can qualify whether an action, a situation is could be qualified as genocide or not. So, European Court of Human Rights confirmed this once more a few years ago in 1915, when they rejected the claims of the Swiss government, because Swiss courts has condemned a Turkish political leader for rejecting genocide allegation, and then the European Court of Human Rights rejected the decision of Swiss courts, which means that even the European Court of Human Rights confirmed that the UN Convention on Genocide is valid and should be respected for everybody. So unfortunately, some parliaments, some governments, some leaders use the word genocide as if they are authorized by law to qualify an event as genocide. Second, there is a declaration of leading scholars in America in 1985. 69 scholars rejected the genocide claim of Armenians, saying that there is no scientific evidence that what has happened could be qualified as genocide. And they urge the American Congress not to take a decision in this regard, and they can only make the work of historians more difficult. You see? So those are the realities. And how come that the President of America put himself in the place of a court and condemns a country for using genocide? Then what's the role of the courts? Therefore, I believe that from the essence, this statement of President Biden is not acceptable and not legal. This is one thing. Also, the American Congress, the Congress of any country, is not entitled either. So what has happened? So what I should say also, that the president has not referred at all to the Turks killed by Armenian terrorists at this in this area and at the same period. According to official figures of Turkish authorities, that more than 500,000 Turks were killed by Armenian terrorists, who joined also invading Russian forces invading Turkey at that moment. So those are the realities, and whether our American friends are ready to learn the realities, we are always ready to explain them. We have invited some years ago 150 American congressmen or senators with staff and families to Turkey, and they learned the realities on the spot. And most of them agreed that the Turkish version corresponds to realities, because we can prove our views, our findings. Therefore, I believe that in light of what I have said, we should leave to historians to decide on what has happened in history. I mean, scientifically. As regards to the legal aspect, we have to leave to authorized international courts to decide. There's no such a court decision so far in the last 100 years accusing Turkey or Ottoman Empire for committing genocide. So those are the realities, and I believe that everybody should respect legal dimension and scientific dimension, historical dimension. Turkey has proposed Armenia to bring together Turkish and Armenian historians to study what has happened in 1915 and in this period in general. And you also asked Armenians to open their archives, because Turkish archives are open, but not Armenian archives. What about the Armenian archives in Boston, for instance? No researcher can penetrate and study Armenian documents, but they can study Turkish documents. Therefore, my feeling is that we have to leave history to historians, and we should not make it, and we should not make this sort of allegations as part and parcel of our daily politics. Unfortunately, it is the case at this moment in the United States. It was the case in some other countries, and I believe that those attitudes, those policies, those statements can only deteriorate already sensible, already delicate Turkish-American relations. Instead of using such historical allegations as a political tool today, we have to focus on the problems, and we should try to find solutions to such problems without using as a tool the historical events.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today, Onur Oymen in Istanbul. Thank you.